So, Teofimo Lopez, the takeover, puts his flag down in the sand and stakes his claim of what he wants to do with his career and the future. Okay? He wants to become the 135 pound for pound champion. He wants to fight for the WBC title and a unification with Vasyl Lomachenko. And this is what Lopez has to say. I know this year I'm going to go for the world championship. I don't know what specific plans of Top Rank and ESPN are. I do not know if it's in July or December, but we're ready. If it's Lomachenko, I'll be ready. But he should hurry up. This is my last at 135 pounds, said Lopez. On the other hand, I'm hearing that Mikey Garcia is not going to return to 135. I'm willing to fight for the WBC title, and if everything goes well, we could do a unification with Lomachenko. It would be a great fight. And Lopez is correct. That would be a great fight. I said the same thing once I watched his last match, which he put on an excellent, exciting performance. But I'm going to have to be realistic and say the truth of the matter is that will not happen. You know, the powers that be, and even certain fighters' fan base, Lomachenko fan base, they don't want him to fight Lopez. I don't care what anybody say. I don't care if anybody gets offended by it. They don't want him to fight Lopez. I've come to find out with my observation on YouTube and the way the boxing game works and what's going on there with Top Rank and what's going on with Bob Arum, that they don't want Vasyl Lomachenko to fight anybody that could possibly pickle him, that could possibly beat him. Okay? Now, it's nice to know that he wants to fight Vasyl Lomachenko, but I think even Lopez know he will not fight Lomachenko, but he wants to. So I think he's just actually putting it out there, said, hey, before I left 135 pounds, I wanted to fight Vasyl Lomachenko. You know, I think he wants to get that out there before he goes ahead and moves up to a higher weight division. And this is the thing. See, Vasyl Lomachenko's fan base, and notice that I am an admirer of Vasyl Lomachenko. Okay? I am not a fan of any boxer. Okay? I am part of the NBCO, No Boxer Above Criticism Association. All these other people out here are fans. And what you'll understand is once you stand from the perspective that I am, it's easier to cast and understand decisions about what's going on in boxing because you're not too emotionally involved. And what I come to find out with Vasyl Lomachenko fans, and as the same as Manny Pacquiao fans, they want to keep him away from fighters like Lopez and fighters like Manny Pacquiao. Okay? That's my honest opinion. And even though it is opinion, it is very potent and it is very correct. But I will digress on that because it's up for dispute. But instead of Vasyl Lomachenko fighting a fight with Teofimo Lopez, which would be a bigger fight and a better fight than Vasyl Lomachenko fighting a Richard Commey or a Tank Davis. See, they rather Vasyl Lomachenko fight a Richard Commey. And I'm going to tell you right now, Richard Commey cannot beat Vasyl Lomachenko. You can easily look at his fighting style and look at Lomachenko's fighting style and know that Richard Commey is catered for Lomachenko. It's very easy. Richard Commey makes too many mistakes for a fighter like Lomachenko. His defense is leaky and his balance is horrible. Okay, well, I'm not going to say horrible, but it's very poor. Okay, these are all things that a person like Vasyl Lomachenko, with his type of skill set, with his ring IQ, for what he can able to see in people's defenses and the way he moves around his opponent, will basically pick him apart. So this, in other words, is another showcase fight. But that fight would not be as big as a Teofimo Lopez fight between Vasyl Lomachenko, nor would it be as big as a Mikey, nor would it be as big as a Manny Pacquiao fight. But these fights and fights like those, people are not interested in. They rather Vasyl Lomachenko to fight a Richard Comey, and they rather a Teofimo Lopez fight somebody like a Devin Haney or something like that. You know, even though they would like him to take on these fighters before he takes on Vasyl Lomachenko. But I'm well aware is by the time Vasyl Lomachenko fights a Richard Comey, and by the time a Teofimo Lopez fights a Devin Haney, he will be well out of that weight division and he will not come back. Teofimo Lopez is only 21. Okay, so his body is still growing and he knows that he can't stay at 135 pounds too much longer. Bob Arum knows this, and Team Lomachenko knows this. You know, I have to give them that they're very good at strategically putting together and matchmaking for Vasyl Lomachenko. Even though he's fighting fights as far as what you would request somebody to do, he's not fighting any fights that's going to make him a star. And Teofimo Lopez was correct on one thing. Nobody believes that Mikey is going to come back down to 135 pounds. And a lot of people ask, well, how come Mikey went to go fight Earl Spence, but not Lomachenko? You know what I'm saying? So it's obviously something about Lomachenko. And for those people, I would say don't be silly. Okay? The reason why Mikey Garcia went to go fight a Earl Spence over a Vasyl Lomachenko is because beating a Earl Spence would make him a star. And he knows that. And he cares about how he's going. Even if he doesn't win, it's still a courageous and a hell of a thing for him to do. And he will still get credit for just doing it. Okay? Let alone him winning, that's something different. But he understands with great risk comes great reward. Okay? It's not about so much about, okay, unifying titles and stuff like that, because this is the thing. Terrence Crawford cleaned out a whole weight division, right? Who cares? Honestly, who cares? Terrence Crawford cleaned out a whole weight division, something that Vasyl Lomachenko has not done. And yet they gave Vasyl Lomachenko pound for pound over Terrence Crawford, even though Terrence Crawford cleaned out a whole weight division. Even I had Vasyl Lomachenko over Terrence Crawford, even though I think Terrence Crawford is a better fighter. I had to give it to Vasyl Lomachenko simply because of the paperwork, simply because of the fights he took. You know, I had to give it to him, even though I know that Terrence Crawford is a better fighter than Vasyl Lomachenko. I know that for a fact, but I still gave Vasyl Lomachenko pound for pound over Terrence Crawford because of his resume. You know, I had to do it. It's only recently I took that pound for pound status away from Vasyl Lomachenko and gave it to Terrence Crawford because everybody was telling me that Lomachenko is too small to fight certain fighters and too small to go up to 140 and 147. All right. He was just too small for it. And I said, okay, well, you can't call Vasyl Lomachenko pound for pound, because let me show you my definition of pound for pound. And I'm going to get the help by one of my subscribers named Tam Hill. You see that? It is a fighter who can go up and down several weight classes. To me, that's my definition of pound for pound. Pound for pound is subjective nonetheless. But so you know how I look at pound for pound. This is exactly how I look at it. And this is one of the best explanations and descriptions of pound for pound that I have seen anybody say on the internet. I didn't even have the words to put it together like this. As simple as it is. That is what pound for pound means to me. Okay? So when it comes to Lopez trying to fight Lomachenko, It would be a good fight, but it's a fight that I do not see happening at all. I really hope it would. I really hope that they would cut through the fat, because that would obviously be a big fight for Vasyl Lomachenko and Teofimo Lopez. And that fight is bigger than any fight that he has at 135 right now, currently. That's a fact. Anyways, like always, those are my opinions. I'm open to your opinions. Leave them in the comment section. Bruce Vane, I'm out.
I'm doing what I gotta do, take over. No disrespect to Lomachenko and Leonardich. You know, wish you guys nothing but the best, but I'm here to take over the show. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to entertain and just put on a show for everybody. Definitely looking for the knockout. Definitely gonna go for the knockout and get the knockout. And it's just gonna be an exciting fight. You know, after this fight, there's gonna be big plans with Top Rank and everything. And